Well, hello again. Thank you for being here this evening as we celebrate airline pilots who've demonstrated the very highest standards of excellence. We'll pay tribute to ALPA pilots who embody courage and perseverance. Their resiliency and determination in the face of challenge have truly changed our union and our industry. Tonight, we're pleased to have with us a number of past annual Air Safety Aviation Security, Pilot Assistance, Aviation Jump Seat, and Air Safety awardees. It's difficult to calculate or capture in words these individual contributions to our industry. Please join me in thanking them as I call each of them by name. ALPA's former Aviation Jump Seat Award recipients who are here this evening are, in 2019, Joseph Chance. (2021) AJ Berlotti. ALPA's former Pilot Assistance Award recipients present tonight are 2011 Tom O'Toole, 2014 Tom Thornton, 2020 Travis Ludwig, 2021 John McFadden, 2022 Jason Graves, 'ALPA's former Aviation Security Award recipients here tonight are 2012 Wolfgang Koch, 2014 Darren Dorn, 2017 Eric Herman, 2019 Ali Froelich, 2022 Andy Urabi, 'ALPA's former Air Safety Award recipients who are in attendance are 1977 Bill Melvin, 'It's not often I can say I was still in high school in 1977. 2005 Lindsay Fennick, 2011 Bill DeGrow, 2012 Mark Rogers, 2014 Helena Cunningham, 2015 John Klinger, 2019 Scott Schwartz, 2020 Bob Fulton, 2021 Dan Coogan, 2022 Steve Jangelis, We have many special guests with us this evening. I'd like to introduce the distinguished individuals who have joined us at the head table this evening. Please join us in welcoming NTSB Chair, the Honorable Jennifer Homendy. Captain Okan Erksoy. Captain Francisco Paco Gomez Ortigoza, IF ALPA Regional Vice President, Car West. Captain Greg Hurley, Executive Administrator, Delta MEC. Captain Chris Hazelton, Safety Representative, Delta MEC. Jason Wallace, Chief of Police, Portland International Airport. Thank you for joining us this evening. We value our partnerships and our collaborative work toward achieving our shared goal of advancing the safest and most secure air transportation system in the world. Now I'd like to introduce ALPA's President, Captain Jason Ambrosi. Jason, please stand and be recognized. Captain Ambrosi will be taking the stage later tonight to present the Superior Airmanship Awards. I'd also like to introduce the two other elected leaders on our union's national officer team. ALPA Vice President Administration Secretary, Captain Sean Creed. And Captain Wes Clapper, ALPA Vice President, Finance, Treasurer. I'd also like to acknowledge all the spouses, partners, significant others, and other family members whose support makes it possible for ALPA's pilot representatives to do the important work that they do. We appreciate you being here tonight. So everybody gets points tonight. Good job. As we celebrate our honorees, I'd also like to acknowledge ALPA's more than 78,000 pilots who fly for 41 airlines in Canada and the United States. ALPA now represents more airline pilots than ever before in its history. Every day and on every passenger and all cargo flight, ALPA pilots deliver on our union's commitment of ensuring that North America remains the gold standard of aviation safety and security. This evening, we'll also honor 4 recipients with ALPA's annual awards in recognition of their outstanding work and contributions as pilots and leaders in our union. Then we'll recognize 2 flight crews with ALPA Superior Airmanship Awards for safely overcoming unexpected challenges. They set an example for pilots around the world and uphold our union's tradition of service to others and an unwavering dedication to excellence and to our profession. May I ask Captain A.J. Berlotti, ALPA's Aviation Jump Seat Group Chair, to come to the stage and assist in presenting the ALPA Aviation Jump Seat Award. It is now my pleasure to recognize Captain Charles Cap Perkins from Hawaiian Airlines with the ALPA Annual Aviation Jump Seat Award for his work and determination to advancing access to the aviation jump seat. Captain Cap Perkins is a recipient of the ALPA Aviation Jump Seat Award for his work in making jump seat privileges more accessible to his fellow pilots. Captain Perkins pioneered the concept of allowing available cabin seats to be utilized for jump seaters, which is now used throughout the airline industry. He has also been involved in numerous ALPA committees through his career, promoting flight deck jump seat access, as well as Pilot and Command Authority, which serves as a benchmark for where we are today. Captain Perkins began his career as a pilot in 1999 after working for 13 years as a flight attendant and also serving as a flight engineer on the DC-10. In 2007, he was recognized by his MEC with a Pilot of the Year award. Captain Perkins, will you please join me on stage? It is my honor to recognize Hawaiian Airlines Captain Cap Perkins with the ALPA Annual Aviation Jump Seat Award for his outstanding contributions to advance the aviation jump seat.
Wow. I'm truly humbled by this. I've been retired 7 years now, but it's so great to be amongst the community of pilots here. I truly miss the working, if you can believe that. But I have a good life. And this, just a comment about the expansion of the jump seat back into the cabin. You know, for years I watched men and women get left behind at the gate. In fact, a short story, I was in Atlanta shortly after 9/11, and I was going up to visit my daughter, and a DC-9 pushed back with 3 people in the cockpit and an empty cabin. And I thought, well, wait a minute. We can see if we can fix that. So I went back, friendly MEC, friendly management Hawaiian, and we put together that program. And I get so much pleasure out of watching or thinking about folks just trying to get to work or get home to see their families, whatever it takes to get from point A to point B. It shouldn't be that hard. So again, I'm honored, I'm humbled, and I want to thank AJ for recognizing me. I thought I was just an old retired guy in Hawaii. I am, but thank you.
Congratulations, Captain Perkins. I now invite Captain Travis Ludwig, ALPA's Pilot Assistance Group Chair, to the stage as we present ALPA's Annual Pilot Assistance Award. It is my privilege to present JetBlue Airways First Officer Carrie Braun with the ALPA Pilot Assistance Award. I've only just begun. First Officer Carrie Braun is the recipient of the ALPA Pilot Assistance Award for her work in pilot peer support. She has been at the forefront of pilot advocacy for many years, helping to promote open discussion about pilot mental health, and has spent an incalculable number of hours volunteering for pilot peer support. When PPS was first introduced, the goal was for the volunteers to have recurrent training only every 2 years. First Officer Braun led the effort to write the entire pilot peer support recurrent training program and continues to work on the course, improving it each time it is taught. And I can tell you it's way more often than every 2 years. Through her advocacy and tireless efforts, she has successfully raised awareness of the importance of mental health support within the aviation industry. Her ability to engage with stakeholders and effectively communicate the significance of mental health resources has resulted in positive changes and increased support for pilots. First Officer Braun, please join me on stage.
I may have notes, you know.
You don't teach with notes.
I don't teach with notes, but, you know, certain people want to make sure that I'm coiffed when talking in public. No, I'm so grateful for this recognition and this honor. I've been doing this work, like Wendy said, since 2017, and I can't believe how far we've come. From the 2015 ARC to the 2024 ARC, the conversation around pilot mental health has completely shifted in such a positive direction. It has always been my goal to let all of our pilots know that no matter what they're going through, they have an empathetic ear that can listen to them and guide them to the appropriate resources when necessary to help them through whatever life's challenges are. I truly believe that no one should ever feel alone in this world. But much like mental health is not a solitary journey, neither is this award. So while I accept this award for myself, I really accept it on behalf of my team. So there are some people that I would love to thank. I'm going to try to go in order here. So first, to Nick Hoffman, who was the first person to actually say, hey, you've got a knack for this and you should volunteer. And he has been a source of support in my life since then. So thank you, Nick, for setting me on this journey. I'm so grateful to my SME team, and I'm going to read here so that I don't forget anybody. Dana Chappelle, Bobby Keller, Elijah Nicholas, Steve Savage, Diego Sanchez, Steve Staplack, Dave Barron, and Eric Green. Without their support, I couldn't do the work that we need to get done. So truly, thank you to my SME team, because without them, we couldn't get this. A very special thank you to my Vice Chair, Sunny Ruff, who makes the insanity that is in my brain sane for everyone else, because believe me, that's a full-time job. So thank you, Sunny. To my leadership team, Travis Ludwig and Chris Arnold, you guys really embody what servant leadership is. That's a hard term to understand and embody, but they do it. They make me They inspire me to be my best and be the leader that they want me to be and that I can truly be, so thank you to both of you. To my MEC chair, Justin Huck, and to Wes Clapper, and to the rest of my MEC who constantly support me doing this work, what I do want to say is I do want to tell you all a little quote from earlier. They took me out to dinner a few nights ago, and they're so proud to support the work that I do. They said they've never met an aviatrix like me, and that is a direct quote.
Well done.
So thank you for supporting me and supporting our mission of being a real voice in the conversation around pilot mental health. A very special thanks to our support staff at Alpha I. They always go above and beyond, but there is one support staff who has a special place in my heart, to Candace Colander. This lady does her best to make me look impeccable despite my best efforts otherwise, so thank you, Candace. And then honestly, to Jason and Wendy. I have never been more empowered and more supported to do this work, and I believe that it is imperative, and I'm humbled and I'm grateful. Anytime I've ever gone to them and asked them for something, hands down, if I could explain why it was important, they were backing it. So thank you very much to our ALPA leadership. So while I am very proud to be here today, I hope this is not the end of this conversation about pilot mental health. I hope that this is the very first step in a very long conversation where all of our pilots feel supported and we are able to maintain the safety of the NAS. So thank you.
Congratulations, First Officer Braun. Please allow me now to invite Captain Wolfgang Koch, ALPA Aviation Security Chair, to come to the stage as we present the ALPA Aviation Security Award. It is my privilege to honor Captain Bill Schild, who flies for FedEx Express, with the ALPA Aviation Security Award, honoring his important achievements in aviation security. Captain Schild serves as Vice Chair of the ALPA Cargo Committee and is a subject matter expert to the Aviation Security Advisory Committee Subcommittee for Cargo. In this role, Captain Schild advises the TSA Administrator on aviation security matters in the development, refinement, and implementation of policies, programs, rulemaking, and security directives pertaining to the transport of cargo on Part 121 aircraft. He also ensures that unique aspects of cargo FFDOs are considered when tactics, techniques, and procedures for FFDOs are developed. He recently worked directly with counterparts at other airline properties following the October 7, 2023 attack on Israel to manage flight and crew safety and security. Captain Schild, would you please join us on the stage? I'm very pleased to recognize FedEx Express Captain Bill Schild with the 2023 ALPA Aviation Security Award for his outstanding contributions.
Wow, thank you. Very honored to be up here. So one of my security buddies said, you should use ChatGPT for your speech. So I'm kind of an IT rock, so I wasn't really sure what that meant. And they said, oh, it's easy. Just give me a couple bullets and it'll spit it right out. So we asked for a speech on a security award that I could acknowledge my wife, thank my colleagues, my safety team members, and also mention that my wife often reminds me what Navy stands for because I was a Navy guy. So it was scary how good it was. And so I'm going to read what it came, just one of the paragraphs, but it's just too good not to read. So here we go. My wife often reminds me of a phrase that's familiar to many. Navy stands for never again volunteer yourself. While it may sound like a lighthearted reminder to think twice before signing up for something, in my experience, it's quite the opposite. For those of us dedicated to security, we don't wait to be asked, we step up. Whether it's reinforcing cargo flight deck doors or addressing the latest threats, we volunteer ourselves because we know that what's at stake. Okay, I didn't write that, but the scary thing was I didn't mention cargo flight deck doors, so somehow it figured that out, which is pretty scary. So on a serious note, and I don't want to delay us any longer from the after-dinner party that Boeing and Captain Jim Fish Webb are putting on after this event. By the way, Fish was one of my F-18 instructors over 30 years ago, so I guess that means we're getting old. But Fish also said that when he hangs around us security guys, we just scare the heck out of him because of all the things we talk about. So anyway, so I need to first say thanks to my wife. Thanks for putting up with all the late night calls, middle of the night calls, dinner interruptions, vacations where I try and leave ALPA work at home, but it just never seems to quite work out. So thanks, hon. Thanks to my teammates. I've got Taylor Meelan from my committee at my table. Wolfgang, Darren, Eric, everybody knows you guys. Steve Curry, Greg Smith from United, Brian Patchen, Andy Uribe, Aaron Adams from Delta, Kurt Schuster from JetBlue, and of course we can't forget our brothers up north. We've got Grant Meadows, Mike Muller, Scott Robertson, and the countless others that we work with. Thank you, all of you. But I do need to make an extra special thank you to Brian Patchen from Delta. Where are you, Brian? Stand up. So, Brian is Delta's MEC security chair, and after Hamas invaded Israel, most of our security team were busy getting the ALPA carriers, making sure the crews are safe, and helping ensure the companies were getting the jets and the crews out of there as soon as possible, with the new war zone. Not long after the last jet departed Tel Aviv, I found out that we had a FedEx pilot with his family of 4, including 2 young children, on a church tour in the West Bank, which is not a very good part of Israel to begin with, let alone in a war zone. So shortly thereafter, I found out that Brian was dealing with something similar with a couple Delta families. So Brian said, I think I can get us out with some El Al connections. They were about to start a code share program with Delta, and so he started working his magic. It took a couple days. We pulled an all-nighter trying to get passport photos, background info, credit card info, trying to get his 2 families out and my 1 family, plus the family I was dealing with said there was another mom and daughter that they would not leave without. So we actually helped two of our families, 1 FedEx and 1 Friends. He worked his magic, got them out 2 days later, and so thank you, Brian, and if you can see me afterwards, my MEC chair has a coin for you, so thank you. So I share the story with all of you because, as we kind of heard with Rich Huey, Speedo's talk and award earlier, where he was talking about safety as a team, it's the same thing with security. We're a team sport. So in closing, we still have a lot of work to do. Hardened cockpit doors are still not part of cargo jets. We need tactics and procedures that truly take into account the different configurations we have in cargo. And as I mentioned, FFDO tactics, we're still working to get better with cargo tactics that address our concerns. So we cannot let up. So thank you, I'm honored, and I'm going to end with a challenge that is so appropriate as we just remembered 23 years after 9/11. Never forget, Never again, and not on my watch. Thank you.
Congratulations, Captain Schild. Please allow me to invite Captain Steve Jangelis, ALPA Aviation Safety Chair, to the stage as we present the Air Safety Award. So this next recipient of the ALPA Air Safety Award is someone you might recognize. It gives me great pleasure to now recognize WestJet Airlines First Officer Stacy Jackson with ALPA's Air Safety Award, honoring her many years of volunteer work and significant contributions to aviation safety. First Officer Jackson consistently goes above and beyond, as you've seen all time here, to identify and implement innovative safety measures that have had a tangible and positive impact on the entire aviation sector. One of her most commendable attributes is her proactive approach to safety. Rather than waiting for incidents to occur, she constantly seeks ways to preemptively address and mitigate potential risks and systemic vulnerabilities. Through her leadership and expertise, First Officer Jackson has spearheaded numerous initiatives aimed at enhancing safety protocols, fostering a culture of accountability, and leading the ASO's training programs. In addition to her safety work at WestJet, ALPA and IF-ALPA, First Officer Jackson serves as a member of the Cadet Program Working Group, the IF-ALPA Female Pilots Working Group, and is a current and founding member of the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Group, and is also a member of the ASO's Accident Investigation Board. First Officer Jackson, will you please join us on stage? I'm very pleased to recognize WestJet Airlines First Officer Stacy Jackson with ALPA's 2023 Air Safety Award for her outstanding contributions.
I think you guys would have been sick of hearing me talk already. Ladies and gentlemen, my esteemed colleagues, honored guests, our dear family and friends, it is a profound honor to stand here before you tonight as we gather to celebrate our shared commitment to safety at this, the 68th Annual Air Safety Forum. I am deeply grateful and incredibly honored to be this year's recipient of the Air Safety Award. When trying to write this speech, I ran into a problem that I think all of us face. How can we possibly thank hundreds of dear friends, colleagues, and family in a speech that has to last under 5 minutes? So I'd like to try something, if you will. If you and I have ever exchanged an email, had a phone conversation about ALPA work, worked together on building an ALPA training course, taught a course at my begging, worked an accident, talked about accident prevention, discussed flight time, duty time limitations, or incorporating diversity and belonging, helped me to learn what SIAP actually is, being on a committee together, if we've flown together, worked on IFALPA work, had drinks together, if you helped me navigate a challenging situation, or if you've ever listened to me ramble on about all the big dreams I have for this industry, could you please stand? Thank you all. This award tonight is because of all of you. You may not realize this, but you are the giants in our industry that have let me walk beside you from day one. You are the folks that I still look to for guidance, whose opinion I sincerely value. You are the people who have suggested my name when new opportunities arose, and I am beyond thankful for your trust in me. You are big names in this industry because of the incredible work that you do. Your passion fuels your drive, and it's impressive to see what we are accomplishing for our beloved industry. Amongst these giants walk the unsung heroes. We have people working diligently behind the scenes in committees, on accident boards, or in local groups who quietly remove barriers we didn't even know that were there to allow the ALPA work to continue. I challenge you to find these people on your teams, in your groups, and tell them how much their work is truly valued. Sometimes we forget that these unsung heroes can be our families. My husband, Paul, or Peach, depending on how you know him, has wholeheartedly supported my passion for family, education excellence, and aviation safety since the day we met. He expertly balances his career while co-managing our house and ensures that our 3 young children have everything they could possibly need, including extra milkshakes when mom's gone. Found out about that one. Peach, I am truly thankful for your unwavering support, especially when things get busy. And I know that I've been saying for years that things would slow down after this next month, but I think that both of us know that's not true. Thank you for loving me and for loving our kids. Thank you for all your encouragement and your support. I get to have the best of both worlds because of you. So thank you. To my parents and friends that have supported me through long conversations and suggestions, who have been there to listen and teach, I am thankful for the investment that you made in me. I am proud to be the product of the love of so many great people. To our ALPA ASO leadership, to our national officers, to the Canada Board, and all of the committee chairs, we have all worked together in some way, shape, or form to deliver our strategic plan and advance our goals for our union and our industry. Globally, ALPA is seen as the standard that others strive to achieve and a source of valuable insight that is regularly sought to help navigate new advancements and new threats. I am very proud to be a small part of the Airline Pilot Association. I'd like to offer a massive thank you to my MEC, who leads and guides our WestJet pilot group with excellence. I can never thank you enough for your exceptional support for everything that I do. Our group is doing great things, and I know that because of you, this will continue. To the ALPA staff, you guys have helped me navigate new roles. You've offered ideas, suggestions, new ways of thinking. You've taken time to teach me about our history and help me become the volunteer that I am, and I am forever in your debt. This award is not just a celebration of our accomplishments, but it is also a call to action for the future. It is an encouragement to continuously seek out new ways to enhance our safety practices and to remain vigilant in identifying and addressing potential risks. As we gather here at the Air Safety Forum, we are reminded of the ever-evolving landscape of aviation. New technologies, emerging challenges, and changing regulations require us to be agile and proactive. Our commitment to safety must be dynamic and forward-thinking. We demonstrate daily that aviation safety is more than just a priority. It is a fundamental responsibility. So, let's continue to build upon our successes and uphold the principles of safety that are the foundation of our industry. Together, we continue to ensure that every flight has at least 2 fully qualified, highly trained, well-rested pilots on the flight deck, and that our shared commitment to safety remains unwavering. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
No chat GPT for Stacy. So congratulations, First Officer Jackson. So congratulations again to our 4 ALPA Annual Award honorees. I'd like to ask ALPA President Jason Ambrosi to come to the stage for the presentation of the 2 Superior Airmanship Awards.
Wow, what a great night. And before I start with prepared remarks, a shout out to such a good event the entire week, to Wendy, her team, the staff, Stacy, and everybody. As I'm sure you can all agree that a shit ton of work goes into putting this together, and they deserve a round of applause. So we've had a great evening. We've had a great 4 days here at the Air Safety Forum. I'd like to give my personal congratulations to the award winners we've seen so far tonight. Now we'll begin our ALPA Superior Airmanship Award presentation. Our 2 crews being honored tonight overcame major challenges, led by example and exemplified determination and courage. These flight crews, with 2 pilots in each cockpit, flight deck, were both necessary to ensure the safe outcome and no loss of life. Without 2 pilots, the results may have been very different. Therefore, ALPA will always promote the need for 2 pilots on the flight deck at all times on every flight. This is non-negotiable. I ask you keep that in your minds as we hear more about the actions that these award winners took to ensure a safe outcome. Now I'd like to present the first of our ALPA Superior Airmanship Awards. I'd like to ask Captain Will McQuillan of Alaska Airlines MEC Chair to join me on stage to assist in this presentation. I'm proud to announce that Alaska Airlines First Officer Emily Whiprud is the recipient of the ALPA Superior Airmanship Award. First Officer Whiprud's actions on January 5th on Flight 1282 were exemplary. I'll ask Captain McQuillan to recount the details of this event.
Thank you, Jason. As the chair of the Alaska Airlines Master Executive Council, it is my great privilege to join with you this evening in honoring the crew of Alaska Airlines Flight 1282, represented here this evening by First Officer Emily Whiprud. ALPA is recognizing them for demonstrating superior airmanship when confronted with a situation that every pilot hopes to avoid during their flying career, a structural failure of their aircraft and subsequent immediate rapid decompression of the cabin. On January 5th, 2024, Alaska Flight 1282 departed Portland, Oregon for Ontario, California. Climbing out of 16,000 feet, the crew, without any warning signs, experienced a rapid depressurization caused by the unexpected departure of the left mid-exit door plug. As noted by the crew, after a routine takeoff, a loud bang was heard, followed by a rapid loss of all cabin pressure. The force of the event was so strong that it pushed the captain's head into the glass heads-up display in front of him, dislodged both crew members' headsets, blew open the flight deck door, and sent the quick response emergency checklist flying just when it was needed most. And despite that immediate shock, both pilots immediately donned their oxygen masks and quickly declared an emergency with air traffic control, requesting an immediate descent to a safer altitude and a turn to the north to avoid rising terrain. While struggling to communicate over the cabin noise, the crew efficiently completed the rapid depressurization checklist. They also coordinated with ATC for a safe return to Portland, where the aircraft landed safely on runway 28 left. All 171 passengers, along with the 2 flight crew and 4 cabin crew members, safely disembarked. 7 passengers and 1 flight attendant sustained minor injuries during the event. It was only then that the flight crew learned definitively that the door plug had departed the aircraft and that there had been no loss of life. Prior to that, no one knew with certainty whether the seat next to the departed door plug had been unoccupied at takeoff or if a passenger had been ejected from the airplane. The actions of the crew working together that day, and this simple narrative fails to capture it, exemplifies what it means to be an airline pilot, and it's evidence of what every ALPA pilot knows. Safety starts with 2, and we are trained for life. The crew managed an emergency with unknown cause, unknown extent of damage to the aircraft, and unknown casualties. Amidst challenges that mere simulator training cannot replicate, all while maintaining situational awareness and, above all, control of the aircraft. Emergencies are seldom simple. All flight crew must work as a team, prioritize, and manage the additional challenges, and above all, ensure a safe outcome. This is what our passengers assume each day they board one of our flights. It's our highest calling. It's what this crew delivered that day. And it's why I felt them very deserving of this highest honor, the Superior Airmanship Award. Congratulations, Emily, and thank you for accepting this on behalf of the entire crew.
Thank you, Captain McQuillan. Can I ask First Officer Emily Whipper to please join us on stage? It is now my great honor to recognize Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 First Officer Emily Whipper with the 2023 ALPA Superior Airmanship Award.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you, Captain Ambrogi, and thank you, Captain Will McQuillan. Thank you to the Airline Pilots Association for having me here today. As you know, my name is Emily Whipper, and I'm a proud ALPA member with Alaska Airlines. I'm with you today because I was a first officer on Alaska 1282 on January 5th. But as I stand here, I represent so much more than just myself. I'm so honored to accept the Superior Airmanship Award on behalf of the entire crew of 1282, the 6 talented, passionate individuals that I was lucky to stand alongside that day. Please join me in recognizing their incredible work and courage under great pressure that was collectively demonstrated on that fateful flight. Like many of you in this room tonight, flying is in my blood. It's a natural part of who I am. I was literally raised in flight on a small airport that my family built. One of the earliest memories is watching my parents run both a flight school and an airport. As you can imagine, it was their example of work ethic, passion, and opportunity that aviation presented that made an enormous impact on my childhood. Being a professional pilot is truly a dream for me. Not only do I love my work, I take great pride in it. On the evening of January 5th, I reported for an Ontario turn. We were settling into a typical routine, and Seattle Center cleared us to flight level 230. Around 16,000 feet is when it happened. Calling it ears popping does not do justice. It felt like an explosion, a sudden rush of air, and my body was forced forward. It was so abrupt that in the flight deck, my headset was ripped off and my captain's was nearly dislodged. We quickly realized that the door to the flight deck had blown open and then immediately understood the gravity of the situation. Unbeknown to us at the time, the aft left door plug had blown off the airplane, leaving a hole in the side of the plane and exposing us to the outdoors. For some reason, despite the nearly full flight, there were no passengers in the 2 seats directly next to the hole. I truly believe we had angels flying with us that day. I cannot emphasize strongly enough how incredible the crew was in this moment. At the same time, while we were dealing with the emergency and crucial communication needs, those cabin crew members quickly attended to our passengers, keeping everyone calm and safe. My captain showcased and was a perfect example of grace under pressure, maintaining control of the aircraft while working together to land safely. As I completed the rapid depressurization checklist, we coordinated our return to the runway, and as you are all well, we landed safely with everyone on board disembarking at the gate, with only minor injuries to 8 individuals. As we reflect on that day and on the actions of the crew, there is so much to be thankful for. I'm thankful I was working alongside such dedicated and talented crew members. I'm thankful that there were 2 flight crew members in the flight deck, as it enabled us to work as a seamless team in returning to the ground safely. I'm thankful for our critical incidents response, our CERT program, for their quick response and care and attention they have shown us, and their countless hours of check-ins, phone calls, and work behind the scenes. That has been of particular importance, as I cannot overemphasize the toll of an incident like this takes on your mental health. There have been promising recent developments in mental health care for pilots, and I appreciate the progress. Though we have a long way to go, this incident shows how important it is to continue that process. Finally, I'm thankful for ALPA for considering me, the Alaska MEC for helping us navigate through this high-profile event, and their countless hours of behind-the-scenes work to protect us, to Alaska Airlines and my chief pilot, the Alaska training program, and our hundreds of combined flight hours that prepared us well. And finally, perhaps most importantly, my family. When we fly, our utmost priority is to care for our passengers. And in turn, over these last few months, my family has made their utmost priority to care for me. I love you. Thank you all.
I think you're done. Thank you so much. Congratulations again, Emily. Thank you so much. A true testament to what we do day in and day out as flight crew. Now for our second ALPA Superior Airmanship Award for the evening. May I ask Captain Jose Nieves, FedEx MEC Chair, to please join me on stage and assist with the presentation. Captain Hugo Carvajal and First Officer Robert Brading Jr. are being honored with the ALPA Superior Airmanship Award. Their actions on FedEx Flight 1432, the morning of February 4th, 2023, surely saved hundreds of lives. I'll ask Captain Nieves to describe the event.
Thank you, Jason. As the chair of the FedEx Master Executive Council, it is my great privilege to join you in this evening in honoring two fellow ALPA pilots, Captain Hugo Carvajal and First Officer Robert Brading Jr. ALPA is recognizing them for demonstrating superior airmanship when confronted with a situation that could have been catastrophic. On February 4, 2023, Captain Carvajal and First Officer Brading were piloting FedEx Express Flight 1432 on approach for landing to runway 18 left at Austin Bernstrom International Airport. Captain Carvajal was flying with First Officer Brading, the pilot monitoring at that time. Visually identified Southwest Flight 708, approximately 1,000 to 1,500 feet down the runway. First Officer Brading quickly called for a go-around, which Captain Carvajal initiated it, and then returned for a safe landing on runway 18 left. The situational awareness, skill, and judgment of these two pilots saved 131 souls on both aircraft. Without their vigilance and immediate response during this low visibility approach to a landing with dense fog, tragedy was sure to strike on that early morning in Austin, Texas. FedEx Express Flight 1432 highlights something that every pilot in our profession knows, that the most important safety feature on any flight deck are two well-trained, well-qualified pilots working as a team. When circumstances arise, the difference between disaster and a safe outcome is often a matter of seconds. It comes down to the pilots on the flight deck, their training, knowledge, and experience. These situations leave no time for indecision. Pilot training helps quickly identify the best course of action and respond accordingly, like second nature, to make sure that everyone gets back home safely. That is why ALPA has long been a proponent for maintaining the high standards of pilot qualifications and training that we have today. It is why our association continues to advocate for pilots like Captain Hugo Carvajal and First Officer Robert Brading. Thanks to the decision and decisive actions taken by these pilots, a potentially catastrophic event resulted in the best possible outcome. A safe landing with a story that highlights the reason we are here to celebrate tonight. Airline pilots, all airline pilots, passenger and cargo alike, with superior airmanship, operating in the same airspace, flying to the same airports, handling the unexpected with incredible calm and extraordinary skill. I am honored to be here to help present the 2023 ALPA Superior Airmanship Award to Captain Hugo Carvajal and First Officer Robert Brading, the flight crew of Federal Express Flight 1432. Congratulations to these distinguished aviators for their quick thinking and professionalism while handling this potentially devastating event. Their decisive action truly prevented disaster and ensured the safety of all involved. Thank you, gents.
Stay right here. Stay right here. Thank you, Captain Nieves. Captain Hugo Carvajal and First Officer Robert Bradeen, Jr., please join us on stage. Got one? Okay, you got the captain. Okay. It is my privilege to now recognize FedEx Express Flight 1432 Captain Hugo Carvajal and First Officer Robert Bradeen, Jr. with the Superior Airmanship Award.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Jose. First, I wanted to say how honored Rob and I are to receive this award. There are so many outstanding pilots in our union who do so much for our profession and safely navigate many hazards that are inherent in aviation on a daily basis. I also want to thank the hundreds of instructors at FedEx who put in the hard work of training our group and help prepare us for the likely problems we face every day, as well as the unforeseen challenges that inevitably pop up like it did on that morning. For me, there are dozens that deserve mention, but that's people like my friends John Skilkin and Matt Wade and Ben Miller, just to name a few. Through the years, they have been there to help me not only in training events, but also any time I have concerns or questions. Our instructors are without a doubt the best in the world and a huge factor in how we all perform in both routine and difficult circumstances. As far as the actual day of our event, it was a routine flight to Austin, which I've done well over 100 times. Obviously, the cath-3 approach wasn't something normal, but as I said, our training is exceptional and I felt well prepared. Although the eventual circumstances were far from normal, I think we did a really good job, but we were also very lucky. And this brings me to my next point. There are several things that need to be done to help prevent other situations like ours. But the most important, in my opinion, it's a theme you've heard, is keeping 2 pilots in the cockpit of every aircraft. Without speaking on this issue for another 20 minutes, I'll just say that without 2 pilots in the cockpit on our day, the results would have been a significant loss of life and the loss of 2 aircraft. And that's a fact. I also wanted to say that immediately after the event, we had great support from both FedEx and ALPA. ALPA was not only supportive, but they were protective also. While we knew we had performed well, it was incredibly reassuring to have the support because no one likes to be scrutinized, and we knew that was coming. So I want to say thank you to all those people and departments that were there for us. And I don't know where you are, but I wanted to particularly thank Jim Perry. He's been there for us the whole time. Thank you, my friend. I'd like to finish by saying thank you to Rob. He was exceptional that day. And without his skill and awareness, we wouldn't be here. I'm extremely proud of him. And FedEx is in good hands with professional pilots like Rob leading this company into the future. Thank you again for honoring us with this award. Thank you for listening to me ramble for a few minutes. And now, if it's okay, I'd be happy to go back to my anonymous pilot life with my beautiful wife, simply flying airplanes unnoticed for the rest of my career. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Captain Carvajal and First Officer Bradeen. This is just an example of what it means to have CRM and 2 pilots in the cockpit. Outcomes like this would be very different without. So before I turn it back over to Captain Morris, again, 2 well-trained, qualified, and rested pilots on the flight deck at all times. That is the point. That's the line in the sand, and we're not going to let it go. One last shout out, NTSB Chair Hamady. Here, thank you for your support. You've been great.